Hey guys, welcome back to Storyhouse Books. This is Tiana as usual, and this is part 11 of our Sunday series Sunday, the Grungy Folio Re-create that we've been working on for a little while. First, real quick, I just want to apologize for being more absent than usual. I was recently in a car wreck, a hit and run actually, and suffering from whiplash and a concussion. So, with that and other things that are going on, I've already fired 2026. Let me just say that right now. Anyway, just want to give you guys a quick update. I won't go into everything else that's going on, but yeah. So anyway, let's get started and see how far we can get. Got my little checklist over here, and last time we met, in part 10, we were working on the inside of this panel, right? And then we added this extra flip out that isn't in the original Grungy Folio that this is fashioned after, right? What we're going to do next is we're going to work on panel 4. We're going to put the large window pocket here for the flippy pad and make the flippy pad here, okay? And see if we can get to inside here to do some stacked tab folders. And maybe start on here with the file folders and the slide tucks. And if we're lucky, we'll get to the box pocket on the back. We'll see. Also, I mentioned that we were going to be adding some more stuff to this. Like I said, we've added this flip out here to panel 4. And then I'm going to add some more flip outs to these opening panels as well. Let's see how far we get. But let's start with the large window pocket. It's going to go here. Okay. It's going to hold a flippy pad. So let's first pick out the paper for this. And it's going to go right here. And let's see. So it has to be at least, let me grab my measuring tape so we can see what we're working with here. What is our usable space, right? We have, inside the seams here, let's say 5 1/4 by 9 1/4. 5 1/4 by 9 1/4. I'll write that down so I don't forget. 5 1/4 by 9 1/4. This is our usable space. Yeah? Alright. Okay, let's pick some paper, which means it has to be at least, 10 1/4, or, well, it's going to be at least 10 tall. So I was liking this one here. What do you guys think? Let's see, you need that with the 1/2 inch. That's 9 1/4. This ought to work right here. So we have 5 1/4 of usable space. I'm going to go with 5, actually using that. That way we'll have a 1/2 inch flap. That'll be 5 1/2, and then we'll have a 1/4 inch gusset, right? Yeah. Yeah, 1/4 inch gusset here. Okay, so let's go ahead and build that. We're also going to use my die cut machine to cut out the windows, and we're going to distress some acetate as well. So for this, you're going to need your papers, of course, right? I'm going to distress with the alcohol ink with the Ranger in caramel, and this is also my little applicator here. You'll need that, and we'll need some acetate if you have it. If you don't worry about it. We're also going to be distressing the paper itself, so I'm using distress ink. So we'll need whatever you're going to use to ink your pages or your edges there. What else are we going to be using? For the flippy pad, you'll need some scrap paper, a stapler, of course, right? And then we'll just start with that, okay? So let's put all this aside. This is what we're using. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my scoreboard, and we're going to score out the flaps from the pocket. Yeah, okay. Scoreboard. So we're going to do our normal 1/2 inch flap all the way around, right? Make sure I'm in frame here, with a 1/4 inch gusset there. So let's do, here at the bottom will be 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch over here. And 1/2 inch on the other side, yeah? Okie dokie. Let's get this out of the way. And grab my scissors here. let's get our mitering done. Actually, let's go ahead and fold our what's noodles, our score marks, so I can see where we're going to be cutting anyway. Here. Now, I'm going to try to go a little bit faster because, well, I'm just worried. I mean, I heard one content creator say that having multiple parts to a series is death for your channel, and it bores people. So let me ask you guys this: are you guys bored? Am I putting too many parts? Am I going too slow for you guys? Okay, I'm going to come here and right there. Okay, I may end up tearing that. I don't know yet, but I went ahead and just mitered it up there anyway. Okay, so there is our pocket, right? Next thing we're going to do is cut out the window. Now, in the other one, I did an oval. This time I think I'm going to do a square or a rectangle, or a couple of squares. So I grabbed my square dies and my rectangle ones to see which ones I like better. So with the rectangle, I'm thinking maybe a couple of them, right? So like, and different sizes. So there's one, and then maybe a smaller one. Let's see, about a little smaller than that. Let's try this one. Okay. Maybe this size. What do you guys think? I like the bigger one, actually. Let's do the bigger one, and what if we did a bigger one, a rectangle down there instead of the square? Let's see here. How about a little bit longer, I think. Nope, one more. Let me see what it does. What do you guys think? And maybe even offset a little bit. Or something like that. What do you guys think of that? I kind of deal on that, actually. Maybe one smaller. Let me see here. Actually, I like it a lot, so we're doing that. That's what we're doing. Okay, put these away here. Get them out of the way, rather. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some tape, and we're going to tape. I need some tape. Well, where got all my credit tape? Here we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna grab some washi tape here, and I'm going to tape these on here. Okay. All right. You know what I didn't do? I forgot to put a gusset on here, y'all. Do we really need it? I don't think we actually do need it. You know what? We're gonna skip the gusset. We don't need it. It's just gonna be a flippy pad, so it's not gonna take up that much room. So we're going to skip the gusset. I don't think we really need to add the bulk to it. Okay, so grab your washi tape here, and in order to keep the die from moving as it's going through the machine, we're going to tape it down. So I'm going to offset these a little bit. Okay. Here we go. I Actually, I'm going to come down a little bit. Right there. Yeah. Okay. I think it's straight. Almost. Okay, and bang. And this one, I'm going to offset it over here. Just a little bit. There we go. Let's see, get that straight as we can, because we're also going to sew this pocket as well. And bang. Oop. Crooked is going to be in it. In it. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. And then one more piece ought to do it. Alright, I think that's pretty straight. Except for the square knot. So I gotta fix this a little bit here. Here we go, I think that's straight. Alright, I think we got it, you guys. Alright, let me grab the machine. My big shot. Alright, we're going to set this in here like so. And then put the top plate on. Like so. And then hopefully this will run through. Alright, so far so good. Alright, let's see how we did. Okay, put it to the side. Get this thing out of the way. Alright, very carefully peel off the washi tape here because it can pull off or damage the paper. So be careful. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Well, not bad anyway, right? Actually, I think they're pretty straight. Get this tape off of here. And I'm going to save those cards for something else later. I'm sure we can use them. Alright, we'll put these in the scrap folder over here. And put these back where they belong. Alrighty. Okay, so now we've got the windows cut, right? Now, if you don't have a die cut machine, just, you know, take a ruler and a pencil and draw it out and cut it out, okay? Easy peasy. Alright, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to ink the inside of this. So let me grab my ink here. Do I have it in here? Oh, right in front of me. Dilly. And I'm using Distress ink in black soot. We're just going to hit the inside of these real quick. Yeah. Make sure you get those corners. They're kind of difficult to get sometimes, but make sure you get those. Or if you're not inking, don't ink at all. Always afraid I'm going to rip the thing. Trying to get that ink in there. almost done with this part. All right, I think we did good there. Yep, I think we're good there, and I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges as well. And then we're going to add the acetate, and then we're going to go sew it. Yeah. And I decided I'm not going to tear this one. I'm going to leave it straight. All right. Now let's grab our acetate, or plastic wrap, whatever you're using. Yeah. And we are going to distress this as well. Now I am going to use a little alcohol ink. So let me grab some scrap paper here. And actually, let me go ahead and cut these pieces out so I don't have to alcohol ink the entire piece of acetate, right? Okay, let's grab some scissors. And we'll start down here with the bottom here. Let's see all we need. So I'm going to cut it basically in half, looks like. Okay, go this way, start. Okay, so for the top one, or the bottom rather, but easier to get this one done first, I think. I'm just going to go across like so. And then flip it around and go this way. Making sure to leave enough room for the glue, yeah? That's the bottom one there. And now the top one here, we do the same thing, just cut it to size, yeah? Making sure you leave about 1/4 inch or so all the way around the window, yeah? Here we go. Alright, let's make sure these fit. And we are good with this one. Yep, and the other, we are good. Okay, so now we're going to use the alcohol ink to distress these, yeah? And really simple. I'm using the alcohol ink and caramel here, okay? Really, really simple. Just take your alcohol ink and then apply to the applicator here. You don't need very much. But it does dry very quickly, so I would suggest not having a fan or anything running. Make sure you put the cap back on. Let's start with this one here, and we're just going to rub it on the acetate here. And then let it kind of move around. You can even blow on it and give it some movement. Yep. Okay. Right there. That is one. Let's grab another one, the other one. And same thing, just rub the alcohol ink onto the acetate. Let me grab some more so we dry it up, I think. I think we're so good. Here we go. Yep. Get some more in there. And just be blotting it to give it some texture, yeah? Alright, this is what it looks like here. I think I might actually add a little bit more. Just a smidge. Let me grab another piece of clean paper so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Nope. Well, shucky-doo. Shucks, I need some paper. Paper. Oh, let's grab an envelope. Here we go. There we go, that's better. Alright, let's add a little more here. There we go. I think that's good. I'm going to break this up a little bit. And there we go. Yeah? Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's done. Let's get rid of that. Put that away. And let's go ahead and glue these pieces in. Now I am using art glitter glue. And you don't need much. Just a little bead all the way around the edge. Yeah? If I can find it. Here we go. Alright, I'm actually going to put it on the acetate itself, all the way to the edge there. Just a tiny bit, you don't need very much. Just be careful not to get, to smear the glue inside the view of the window, right? Okay. There we go. Now I would suggest when you're pressing down the glue, move it away from the window opening, not towards it. Alright, there we go. And I'll just get the scrap paper here and put that around. Okay, that one's done. Let's grab the other one here. Same thing. Really small bead of glue all the way around the edges. And carefully slid that down. Yeah? I think it's supposed to go this way, actually, I think. Is that right? Maybe? I think that would be better. There we go. Okay. Okay. A little bit. Okay, making sure it's not impeding the folds at all. I think we're good here. Yep, we are good. And there you go. There are our windows. Yeah? Okay, let me take this piece of book page and just go around the edges one more time here. Making sure we got up any of that, any glue that's kind of seeped out there. Alright, I think we are good. Yep, I think that's good. Alrighty. Alright, next step is we're going to go and sew this, and then we'll attach it, okay? So we'll do the sewing, and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. I'm straightening up my camera. Okay, let's go ahead and attach this piece in here, and then we'll make it flip back. Yeah? And it's going to go right here. So let's go ahead and give the flaps one more good burnish here with our tool. Now you guys don't have to sew if you don't want to. I just like to. That's just me. You guys do what you want. Yeah? And I also went and actually sewed around the frames themselves too. Figured why not? Since we're doing it, might as well do it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in here. La, 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 la. And I'm going to leave all the strings. I am. Okay. Get this pin out of my mouth. That is not safe at all. Okay. And then over here, on this flap here, making sure I don't go all the way to the edge. Oops, like that. I think about 1/8 of an inch or more, depending on what it is. I can't do this straight. My hands are shaking. Okay, Okay, and then all the way here and okay. And then the bottom part here, if I can do this straight ish. Alrighty, and then we're going to attach this here. And I think we're going to do, we're going to open it this, we're going to go this way with it. Let's get the strings out of the way. There we go. And I'm going to put it right up to the edge here of the base page. And that should give me plenty of room here. Okay, right there. And just smush it out. Yeah, let me actually even this up here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so our flip pad will go in there. Once this dries, I'm not going to futz with it right now. Too much. Okay. Let's let that dry for a second. Let's make the flippy pad. Alright, well that's doing its thing over there. Okay, flippy pad is real simple. All you need is some scrap paper, whatever you want. I actually just did a cleaning of my craft room, so I don't have that much just plain paper just laying around. So I just grabbed some found papers that I've got, and we'll make it with this. So what you're going to need is some scrap paper, right? Whatever width you want it to be. So since our pocket is, let me just double check here, is 5 1/4, right? Yeah, so I'm going to make it under that. So let's say no wider than 5 inches. So let's do 5 3/4. Or sorry, 4 3/4, right? 4 3/4. And how long? And no longer than, let's say 8. So 4 3/4 by 8. Yeah? Is our usable space. 4 3/4 by 8. So we're going to cut these down to that, at least that, or no more than that, right? And then you're going to need a piece to actually be the top part there. So I'm going to look at our scraps, and we'll use some other scraps. And then you'll need a stapler to staple all these pieces together, okay? So let's grab our cutting device and cut this stuff out. Okay, so I'm going to do these at, let's see, one sheet, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. I'm going to do these at 4 3/4, right? Which is right about there. And the same with these pages here. Now, just for, effect, you can make them different sizes, which you may actually do. Let's do that. Let's make these a little bit short, a little bit narrower. Yeah? Make these a little more narrow. Just for giggles. I'm going to use normal at 4 3/4. Alright, then we need to cut them to length, right? So I'm going to do at 8, or no more than 8. So I'm going to say 7 3/4, okay? So 7 3/4 ought to be good. Which is right about there. Let's say 7 1/2 just to be sure. No, 7 3/4. Yep. Right there. In these, you can also make different sizes as well. So I'm going to make these a little bit shorter, just for giggles. Okay. Put these scrap pieces over here, just in case we need them for later. Don't know why, but we might. You never know. Okay. All right. Now, next thing we're going to do is staple these together. Now, I'm going to actually mix these up a little bit. Come on, separate, separate, separate. The dot ones, these are the grids, yeah. Just for giggles, yeah. It doesn't really matter how many I put in, I just wanted to mix it up a little bit. Okay, there's no right or wrong here. We're just going to be stapling some paper together, turning it into a little notepad, right? All right, let's even them up at the top here, right? You want to line those up. Next thing you want to do is pick the paper that's going to be like kind of flipped over the top of it to keep them all together. So I'm going to go to our scraps here. And I want it to be about 1.5 inches at least, you know, no more than 2 inches long. Right in the front. So let's go with the, I like this green. Let's go with that. Is that going to be enough? Maybe not. Let's try something a little bit wider. Ooh, here we go. This green right here. Yeah. Let's go with that one. Now I'm going to cut this one to be, let's see, 1 inch. About 1 inch in the front. Yeah, inch. Let's say 2 inches. 2 inches tall, right? And then, how wide is this again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches wide. So 2 by 5, right? And that will be our top cover of our flippy pad. Let's say 2 by 5. Yeah. 2. Go for the straight edge, Tiana. 2 by 5. Okay. And then the next thing you're going to do is fold it in half. You can score it if you would like. If it's easier for you, I am going to score it just because it's easier for me. I'm going to score it at 1 inch. Right there. And then I'm just going to fold it in half, yeah? Do a little ink in real quick. Okay. Let's stack up your papers again. Get those nice and even. Okay. Now what I do, I have a little special stapler set here that allows me to staple from anywhere on the page. I got this from We Are Memory Keepers, right? So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to staple just here in the middle. Just keep them together, right? Actually, let me do this one more time. Actually, let's do it this way because it's actually straighter. Okay. I'm going to staple in the middle. Just keep the papers together. Yeah. Oops. Let's try that again with a different one. Yeah. How about this one? Small one. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that's not fixing the back there. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is staple this part to the top, and you slide it on top. Yeah. Center your paper pad there, and then staple. Yeah. Now this one is going to let me use my magnet here and kind of line everything up. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to go right here. Magnet's going to go there. And then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go right over here to the side. I'm going to do 2 punches, okay? One on either side here. Actually, let's leave it even. Okay. And let's see here. I'm going to use the medium one here. Line this back up here. Excuse me, guys. I got to get over this so I can see where the line is. Okay. And then I'm going to go down a little bit. Make sure that's lined up. And stapler in there. And boom. Okay. Why is that not working? Alright, let's try the large one then. Oh, because I have the wrong setting on there. That's why. You know what? I'm just going to grab my other stapler. I don't know why I thought I needed this one. I don't. Since we're not doing the spine stapling, we're just stapling the top. So hold on one second, y'all. Anywho, we're going to just staple our cover to it. And I do one on each end, about, 3/4 of an inch away from the end. And right there. Yeah? And just do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to try to line them up, at least. That looks about right. Close to it, anyway. Alright. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There's your food bag. And hopefully that fits. So let's double check and see if my measurements were even remotely correct. Alright, this is going to go right in here. Like so. Yay, it fits. Woohoo! And I'm probably going to put maybe a tab there or something. I think I have enough room there for a tab. Just a little one. But there's our flippy pad. So let's take that off the list. What we're doing. And how we're doing on time. We're doing good. Alright. So next thing we're going to do is close that. Open this. And we're going to put some stacked tab pockets here. Right? With some eyelets and whatnot. So let's pick some paper for that. And let's see, I have grabbed a couple. Let's see, how about that one? I like this one. And I don't remember what we used. I don't feel like scouring back through there to find out. But I do like that one. How about that one? And oh, fidget widows. This one right here. Yeah? These look good together. I don't think we've used that one already. I hope not. Let's take a quick look. I did, right there. Okay, well, fidget widows. How about... How about... looking for something that kind of matches that a little bit. How about that one? I like that one. Have you used that one yet? Hopefully not. I don't think so. Nope, I don't think so. Good deal. Cool beans. Alright, so we're going to do these two. Maybe I'll put a third and a fourth one. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alright, first thing we're going to do is what? Measure our usable space. Yes. Alright, so our fold is here. Our fold is there. I'm going to do that within the, inside that, right? So I'm actually going to use the base page as my usable space and say 5 1/4 wide. Let's write this down. Double check that real quick. Okay, 5 1/4 wide. By 9 3/4 tall. Okay? So whatever we do has to fall within that. 9 3/4 usable space. Yeah? Alright. Put this pin back in this glue before it clogs up. Alright, so that is our measurement, or what we're using for usable space. So what I'm going to do, I want to stack them and do multiples. I think I might want to stack these. So I do have a 1/2 inch gusset here. So let's do that. I'm going to stack them. And we're going to do 1, 2, 2. Let's do 3. Let me grab another piece of paper here. Let's see what we got. How about that? Just a piece of scrap. How about that right there? Like that. And then we could even... that, and that. No. Actually, kind of digging on this. I like that a little better. Make a decision, Tiana. And that. I'm trying to stagger it a little bit. I think I kind of want some words up top, and then nothing, and then some more. Or do I want more words down there? And in there, a little more script. What do you guys think? Huh? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I don't know, you guys. How about that right there instead? No, I think I like this one. I think I want it like this. Yeah. Okay. So, but I also want to see that orange. Oh, you guys. What am I going to do? Let's take that third one out all together and just do two. And maybe do some smaller pockets, maybe. One there and one there. And then I'll do pockets on top of that, I believe. Because we're going to have a lot going on over here as well. Yeah, we're going to do that. That is what we're doing for now. And then I might put this bottom piece down there. I think I like this bottom piece down here as well. Okay, oops. Alrighty, so usable space is 5 1/4, 9 3/4. So let's figure out our pockets sizes, right? I think this one's actually going to be fine the way it is. Because if we add 1/2 inch gusset on either side, that would make it. I'm going to go with 5 instead of 5 1/4, just so I am inside of the borders there. So let's say 5 plus 1/2 on either side. That would be 6. So this is exactly 6 wide. I think that's actually fine. And this one, I think we're going to make it a little bit narrower and do 5 1/2 by. I wanted it right there. 5 1/2 by. Let's say 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay, so here are our measurements for our pockets. The top one is going to be 6 by 5 1/4. Okay? So 6 by 5 1/4. Our other one is going to be 5 wide. I'm sorry, we're going to do some 5 1/2 because I wanted to be a little bit narrower. So we'll do 5 1/2 by, let's see, if I want it to be end here and end there, let's say 5 plus 1/2 inch. Let's say 5 1/2 by 5. If it doesn't work, we'll redo it. Okay? All right, there's our measurements for these two pockets. Oops. It's knocked over something. My back is killing me from this. So, like I said earlier, I was in a car wreck and I have whiplash and a concussion. So, I'm like up and down. My back is killing me right now. Okay, let's cut these and let's see how far we get. In this section, I may have to take a break here in a minute. I think I will in a second after we cut these. All right, the first one we said was 6 by 5 1/4. So let's make sure that's the case. All right. So 6 this way, yes, and 5 1/4 this way. So we're gonna cut off just a smidge from the top. That's 5 1/4 right there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's our top pocket. Our next one is going to be 5 1/2 by 5. So let's do 5 1/2 this way. And then 5 this way. Okay, and then we're going to do our scoring for our flaps, which is always a 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay, here, here, and a 1/2 inch here, and that is our bottom pocket. And this one, same thing, 1/2 inch all the way around. That's our top pocket. All right, next thing we're going to do is we are going to miter our bottom corners here. So let me grab my scissors, like we always do. And let's go ahead and do our scoring real quick, or folding real quick on the score marks. And then we're going to do our mitering here. So go in at an angle to the intersection of those two folds, and then out at an angle, yeah? And rinse and repeat on the other side. In and out. Okay, let's do the other one. Okay. It is backwards. Whoops. Wait a minute, that's not the right color. There we go. Yeah, that's right. Okay, rinse and repeat into the intersection and out at an angle. Rinse and repeat on the other side. And let's see, we are not going to tear the top, so we're going to put that, we're going to make them tabs, right? So you can do this one of two ways. You can do it with a tab punch, right? I'm going to use my envelope punch board. What did I do with it? Yes, okay, over here. Now, this is from We Are Memory Keepers, and what I'm going to do is we're going to make the tab of like a file folder right here, right? Now, in here, you'll notice there's a little divot right here, right there. You see this? So you're going to place the edge of the paper in the halfway of that edge, of that divot there, right? So what we're going to do is, this is our edge, right? Folded. We're going to slide this in here, and to get the end, we're going to line it up. Make sure you guys can see that. Halfway, and about there, in that divot, okay? And then we're just going to punch it. And that gives our edge. Then we're going to slide it over, and I'm going to do up to about 2 inches over here. And that'll make my tab, right? And there's my tab, right there. And then the next thing we'll do is actually just cut this off. So I'm going to use my small paper trimmer and line this up and just cut it off. Or you can do it by eye, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I do not feel comfortable doing it that way. So I'm going to cut it off this right there. There we go. Okay, and that is our tabbed pocket. Okay, do the same thing with the other one. Okay, again, we're just going to line up the edge and get it centered in that little divot there, right? It's centered. I'm trying to see it over the camera here. Can you see that? Yeah, is it going to focus? Right there. Come on, focus. I can't tell if it's focusing or not. There we go. Right about there. And, oops, I moved it. All right, there's our edge. Then just going to slide it this way. Actually, I wanted it over this side. I should have done it over the other side. That's okay. And then we're going to punch another tab right there. And then cut off the long edge. All right? Okay. All right, and there are our tabbed pockets. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah? Boop, 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 boop. All right, what are we going to do next? Well, I'm going to actually miter these ends right here at the entrance real quick. So all you need to do there is where the fold is, just cut up to the fold at an angle. Get that off of there. That way you don't see them from the front of the, when you're looking at the front of the pocket when you attach it. Right? Okay. And your shape should look something like this. Okay? Now here, if you want, you can put your hardware on. You're going to want to do your inking as well. and any other accoutrement you want to put on there. I'm actually going to sew these as well. So, let me go ahead and just take these out here. I'm going to wait and put my hardware on after I sew, but I am going to go ahead and ink these. Excuse me. And again, just using a little bit of distress ink, not the oxide, and black soot all the way around. Please feel free to fast forward through the inking process. I know it's riveting. I know you guys are totally entertained by this, but you will not hurt my feelings. Now, you can also, if you want to, round the corner right here if you'd like. Completely up to you. I'm going to leave it as is. La, 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 la. We're inking, just keep inking, just keep inking, just keep inking. And around we go. La, 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 la. Okay, moving on. Now I'm going to go do some sewing, and I'll be right back. Okie dokie, artichoke, and we're back. Okay, time to put the eyelets in, yeah? Yep. Let's see. Let's put 1, 2 here, or I want to do 1, 1. I think we're going to start with at least 1 right here. Maybe I'll put 3. Who knows? Let's see, we're going to put it right. Yeah, well, fidget widgets. Let me start right here in the corner. Where are my eyelets? There we go. Let's see the eyelet there. I think I will do 2, just for giggles. Let's see what it looks like. 1 there, and then 1 on the other side of the tab. Let's see if I can even these up. Ooh, pretty good. Not bad, Tiana story. More luck. Alright, got my little crocodile here. Just gonna squeeze that in there. Okay, 1 more over here. And there we go. Alright. And I think I'll just do... Don't want them to match? Not really. I think I might do just... I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Let me see what I feel like doing here. Let's do 1 here for sure. And then 1 for over here in this corner for sure. Let's see what I think. Okay. Okay, we said our usable space for this was 5 1/4 by 9 3/4. So I'm going to line these up and just see, because I may or may not put in an eyelet like this. I want to see what it looks like. So let's give these a nice burn. This one's going to be on top, and this one we said was going to be on the bottom. And I haven't decided if I was going to add more pockets or not. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Who can say? All right, right here is 9 3/4. Is right about there. Right about there. And then 5 1/4 wide. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. So we're going to put this one over here to the edge. And I'm going to come down from the top. And this one we're going to put on the other side a little bit to the edge of the page. Right there. Yeah? Now, I do want to put it a little up there, but I also want to put 2 more down here. Why not? I'm doing it. What the hell? What the heck? Okay. I'm definitely going to put some mini clusters up there, for sure. Don't you worry. Clusters are happening all over the sign. Okay. Now, how many do I want to put on here? I kind of want to put them randomly on here, kind of a little bit. Nah. I'm probably going to put a cluster right there, so you shouldn't even bother. I'll put one in this corner, I think. Yeah. If it gets covered up, it gets covered up. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put a cluster in that corner over there. Pretty sure. Okie dokie, artichokes. Now those are our stack pockets. Let's go ahead and put those in. And then we'll see what we're doing on time. Yeah? How are we doing over here? Let's see. We're doing pretty good there. Alright, let's open this up. And put this in. So we're going to put this bad boy right there. Right there. And we're going to put this one right about here. See, we've got enough room for one more, I feel like. And I kind of want to do that with this one. And have it come up right about there, because I want to see all of this here. I'm doing it. All right, let's measure how tall that would be. If it ends right above, right underneath that last bit of script there, that's going to be about 3.5, give or take. All right, and I want it to be wider, right from here to here. So 3.5 by, let's say 4 3/4, and then we'll count for the flap. 3.5 by 4 3/4. Write this down. 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3.5, 4 3/4. Is that right? 3.5 by 4 3/4 is usable space. So if we add our flaps, this will be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, right? Yeah. Yep, that's it. All right, there's your measurements for that third pocket. We're gonna do it. We're doing it, totally doing it. All right, I'm gonna leave that measurements up right over there while I do the cutting here. And I want this script to show, so we're gonna cut this top part off at 3 3/4, yeah? So that'd be right here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna trust it. Okay. And then wide, we're gonna do 5 3/4. 5 3/4 will put us right. I want to keep all that strip. Let's cut this other end off. 5 3/4 puts us right there. Okay. All right, let's do our scoring, and we'll make the flap. I'll go sew it, and we'll put this baby together. Yeah. All right, 1/2 inch all the way around. You guys know the drill. 1/2 inch flap, bang, at the bottom, and the other side, right? All right, go ahead and do your folds at the score marks. Hope you guys had a happy new year. Mine was okay. Could always been worse, right? All right, let's get our scissors and we'll go ahead and miter our corners. Let's see if I can see better this way, right? Yeah, where is it? There it is. Okay. And then the other side. Out. And we're going to make our tab. Now, if you don't have an envelope punch board, easy thing for you to do, okay? Let me show you on a scrap piece of paper real quick. Easy peasy, right? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to show it to you real quick after I make it over here, just so I can move all this stuff out of the way. All right, so let's enter this up in the little divot here. Make that end, and that 2 inches again. And we're going to cut this end off here. And then miter our entrance edges here. Okay. Now, like I said, if you do not have an envelope punch board and you want to do this, I'm going to show you how. Okay, let's say you have your pocket all ready to go, yeah? And just for sake of argument, I'm going to just fold it. Okay. Alright, so you have your pocket, and we're going to do the same process. We're going to do our corners. Okay, now, all you have to do, I mean, it's, you know, it takes some practice, so I mean, it's not like you're going to be able to do, you may not be able to do it the first try, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you just need to practice, okay? Now, what I would do, or what I have done, is I've taken my ruler, and I've measured a straight line all the way across, right? My pencil, like so. Then I pick how long I want my tab, right? And I make a little mark there as well. So let's say, for sake of argument, let's make it 2 inches, right? And I'm going to just do a line straight down, right? Okay. Now, all you would have to do here is take your scissors, all right? And you're going to cut at an angle on this side, right? From the top to that line, right? That's all you're going to do. Right there. Right. Okay? From this line that you just made, yeah? Oops, excuse me. You're going to cut from the top of this at an angle down to that line, right? So from this line to this line at about the similar angle as you did this one over here, right? There. And that's it. And then cut along this line. Let's cut that piece off. Let me grab my longer scissors here. And just cut off this long edge, just like we did with the paper trimmer. Now, just cut the cut right there that you just made, yeah. Boom. There's your file folder, your file tab, right? Okay. Now you can round these at these corners if you want to. Up to you. Just take your pencil and erase the pencil marks. See how easy that was? Easy, easy, easy. You do not need an envelope punch to make a file folder. Okay? Got it? Got it? Good. Then you do the same thing. Miter your edges at the entrance. And you're done. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah? Doesn't look much different than this. Right? Da-da-da. Okay. Now, we did that. And you're now an expert at making file tabs. Right? I'm going to go sew this last one real quick. After I ink it, of course. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. And then we're going to put some eyelets on this one. And we'll see where we are in time. I think we're over an hour right now. So let's see how far we get. I want to get maybe one more element in here. Yeah? Alright, I'm back. Okay, we're back. Okay. Let me get this one more quick crease in here. Then we'll put some eyelets in it. And then we'll place these guys. See where we are. Okay? So, placing these like this. We got one right here. One goes right there. This one will go right here. And then this one will go right about there. Right about there. So let's put some eyelets. Put one right there. Here, 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 and here. I'm going to eyelet this thing up. Eyelets everywhere. Why not? One there. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. Here. And here. Yeah? Sure. Why not? Alright, grab the eyelets. Okay. Oops. Now, if you remember, we had a little tutorial on the setting on the crocodile that I'm using to get this rounded, smooth backing here is A2. So A up here and 2 down here, okay? Alrighty. I think adding another pocket was a good idea. What do you guys think? I think so. Okay. Put this aside. Okie dokie. Alright, so now we've got our 3 pockets. Let's get rid of this ruler for a second. And let's attach, yeah? Move these scissors before I cut myself. And these are going to go in right here. Yeah. Alright, we're going to do the orange one. This is Auburn up top. Let's get rid of some of these strings. Right about there. Maybe a little bit higher. I don't want that tab sticking out the top. Then we're going to do the what are you going to call this? Aquamarine teal or whatever. Let's get some of this string. Oh, that's really long. Okay. Over here on this edge. Right about there. Yeah. And then this one, we're going to put it on the other side. Right about there. Or should I go right here? No, I want it to be offset. And down a little bit. So, let's do this here. And this right about there. Yeah, what do you guys think? Maybe more like this. And there. Yeah, like that. Okay. So let's attach these boogers. See how much string we got going on here. Need that much in there? We're good. Alright, one more time for good measure. Give them a good creasing there. Alright, let's get it going with some art glitter glue. And I'm actually going to do some sanding on this. If you are new, this new Tim Holtz paper has a little bit of a gloss or sheen to it, or some sort of, what do you call? It's shiny, right? And we had some issues with it adhering really well. It was actually just lifting off of the paper. So I find that if I go ahead and sand it and get that sheen off of there, it stays down a whole lot better. So that's what we're going to do. Now you can use an emery board or a piece of sandpaper, whatever. I'm just going to go over it really quick. Just a couple passes to get rid of that top coat, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's how I'll do it. Now you don't have to go crazy with it. Just, hit it a few times. Exposing more of the paper and not so much of the design and the gloss where they put on top of this paper. Now, I would suggest that you wipe that off, get the dust off, right? Just to make sure we're adhering paper to paper and not paper dust to paper, right? I'll wipe that down. All right, let's try this again. Alright, we said this one's going to go up here, and I don't mind if it sticks at the top just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make it so. Get these strings out of the way. Alright guys, I have to sit down. I'm sorry. Ouch. Okay. Let's get these strings out of the way here. And we're going to start on this edge. Let's not glue that corner down right now. And using art glitter glue again, so we're going paper to paper, and I haven't got to worry about any stitching getting in the way. Alright. Stay down. Maybe I won't. Either way, we're going to stay away from that edge. About 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. Whatever turns your beanie. If you are new, the reason we do that is because we don't want the pocket to be flat against the surface. We want to give it a little bit of freedom to grow, right, and breathe, so you want to add more to it. Alright, making sure our strings are not in the way. I'm going to come off the edges a little bit, so that tab's sticking out just a smidge. Yeah? Is that even? Is that straight? Can't tell without standing up. Oh, my back. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Ugh. So I do have a lawyer, and I'm going to see what happens now with this. I mean, this is awful. On a couple of occasions, my legs actually buckled, and I collapsed. I couldn't feel my legs. That's a very strange feeling, you guys, if you've not ever had that happen to you. Also, when I was getting my x-rays, I fainted. I closed my eyes for just a second, and I was out. So, they said that's part of the concussion, side effect of the concussion. But, I mean, literally, I was standing 1 minute, a couple mornings ago, and I just fell down. It was the weirdest thing. I've never felt anything like that in my life. Okay, let's do the next one here. And again, just going to stay away from the edge of that flap. The outside edge, anyway. Okay. And then down here at the bottom. Alrighty. And this one we're going to go a little bit to the right. Yeah. I think all the way to the edge of that page, of the base page. Right about here, I think is good. Make sure that's straight. Okay. And we're going to press this down. So needless to say, I'm also, I can't go work at my second job at Amazon because I can't lift anything. My fingers and arms and legs and toes go numb pretty regularly this week. I do have a follow-up on Monday, so I'll update you guys on that and see what happens with that. It's kind of scary, actually. Alright, this side's going to go over here, and I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go right here, actually. Just a little bit in of this pocket. Yeah, and I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Yep. Okie dokie, artichokies. Let's get this on. See where we are on time. Darn it, that glue over there. Don't want to glue the pocket shut, do we? Alrighty, last one. Keep the strings out of the way. I'm going to go in just a little bit from the left of that pocket. Like so. Alright, press these down, get those strings out of the way. And here we go. Yeah, a little bit of glue seeping out, that's okay. Is that straight? Yeah, they're straight. Okay. Press down a little bit more there. Okay. The same for this one. And this one as well, yeah. Alrighty. And those are our stacked tab pockets. Yeah? How are we doing time? Alright, we're at hour 15, so let's go and check this off the list. Stacked tabbed folders. Now, the next piece is going to be a little bit longer, so we're going to stop here. Okay? Now we've gotten our window pocket done, right? And our flippy pad. Then we did our tabbed file folder style pocket stacked pockets here. Okay? So we're going to stop there. Okay? And then tomorrow, or the next video, we're going to pick up with the file folders, this panel right here. Yes. And the, so the file folders with the slide tucks. What else? And then the box pocket for the back. Okay? And then we're going to see where we are as far as adding an additional flip outs to here in these opening panels as well. Alright? Alright, you guys, I will see you guys in the next video. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime we upload new content. In our description, we will put the supplies that we use in this video, as well as a link to our Etsy store and to our Ko-fi page, where we have some free ephemera for you to download for free. If you have any mates and you're following along, please tag me on Instagram. Information is in the description below. And I think that's it. I will see you guys in part 12. Talk to you guys soon. I love you. Bye.